Ste. Marie. This is Jay Houselander from Saultsports in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, Canada. Today we have Mac Marcoux and Robin Femi as our guests on Saultsports Radio today from Sochi, Russia, where Mac and his guide Robin are competing in 5 events in Sochi in the Paralympics. Mac is from Sault Ste. Marie, the youngest competitor at the Paralympics at the age of 16. We apologize for our listeners. The time change here, and Russia didn't have it, so that's why we're an hour behind. How are you this morning, Mac?
I'm not bad. Yourself?
Good. First question is, who is Mac?
Who is Mac? What do you mean? I'm Mac?
Yeah. Who are you? And just tell people a little bit about yourself.
Oh, okay. I'm a skier for the Canadian Paralpine team. I ski on the World Cup circuit year round. Spend a lot of time, fishing and hunting and sledding and riding a lot of stuff. And yeah, live in Howland Bay.
Trying to be a 16-year-old, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Now, a question I have is, being, you over in Russia and, me here in Sault Ste. Marie, and, all Sault Ste. Marie do is, they were talking about Brad Jacobs, but now all they're doing is talking about you guys over there. One question people have asked is, how did you lose your vision?
I lost it to a genetic disease called Stargardt's when I was 9. So basically, this disease was me being born without missing a gene in the back of my eye, which is used to clean off it's called flex that builds up on the back of the eye. So I don't have anything to really clean off this flex, so it kind of builds up and fogs out my vision a little bit.
Now, did you start skiing before you lost your vision?
No, I never started racing until I did lose my vision. The year I lost my vision, I started racing.
So how did you, continue to get to this point now where, you're actually at a competitive level compared to just doing it recreationally?
Well, I always started, as soon as I started skiing, I started at a competitive level. It started off with the Northern Ontario division with the I raced able-bodied for 4 years. So with everybody else, Northern Ontario division, and ran there until I was 13. And then when my vision got bad enough that I had to start using a guide, I had the opportunity to make my way out to BC to nationals for the first time ever. And when I got to nationals, we thought we'd go out there and just see how it went out after a year of training with my brother and just see where we stacked up against everybody else in Canada, and went out and ended up pulling off some pretty good results. I think we got 3 gold and a bronze, and ended up kind of from there started going to prospect camps with the national team. And then last year made my way onto the World Cup circuit, getting a couple podiums here and there in Italy, Switzerland, and New Zealand, and brought us into this season where, I raced a couple World Cups down in Colorado and BC, had a couple of good results, and now we're here. Sitting in
Sochi.
Yeah.
So what events are you competing in Sochi? You've already done a couple, and then what do you have left?
Started with the downhill, then the day after the downhill we went into Super G, and we had a day off there after the Super G, and we have a Super Combined yesterday, and I ended up straddling a gate mid-course, so I ended up with a disqualification in the Super Combined, so now I'm day off today and working my way into tomorrow for tomorrow's men's slalom.
So, with you and, Robin right now, and, a lot of times it's BJ when, with his back being hurt right now, when you're traveling down the hill at over 100 kilometers an hour, what are you two communicating about, and what's being said?
So, basically, right out of the start, it's just, when you go through at the beginning of the day, you go through an inspection in the course, where you get to go through and look at every aspect of the course super slow and kind of run through it, just side flipping and looking at everything that you need to see. And every spot in the course, you kind of find key points that, where the tricks are and where you got to be set up and have proper direction so you don't end up in the trees or the fencing. And you, through the inspection, you go through, and when you find all these key points, then my guide kind of, Robin, looks at where he wants to be and what he wants to do, and then in the race time he kind of reminds me on the way down and of each key point we're getting to and what we gotta do when we get there. So basically, like, if you're coming into a really big triple and you're going to be going fast and you have to be standing on that downhill ski, he really reminds you to get forward and coming into here, and you got to set up a little bit and get a high line and try and make your way around the gates as fast as you can.
Understandable. Now, like I say, with BJ being a little bit older than you, and like you say, brothers always bug brothers. I have two teenage sons. In one word, how would you describe BJ?
Amazing. he's
like you say, coming from a brother.
Yeah, we're not. We spend so much time together that I think that we've had to grow up a little bit with each other. I don't think we don't argue about half as much as regular brothers would about our age. We get along really well, and we even when we're skiing, it's not, you almost forget when you're skiing, you're at work. It's not, you can't just argue and spend a day having a fight. You got to forget that and do what you're here to do your job. And usually we don't carry on arguments too long. If we do argue, it's really quick, get it off our chest, and then use that in training to kind of see where we, like, a lot of time it is arguing about training on what his thoughts are compared to mine, and usually we kind of put them both together and find a way to improve whatever was going wrong in the first place.
Understandable. Now, like I said, with you being 16 and your schedule being so busy, how do you handle your school workload?
This season alone, I ended up having to take a year right off school. It was such an extensive schedule, starting in right in June when I left school. I had to move out to Whistler for the duration of the summer till the end of July, working 6 days a week in the gym, and then from July I got to come home for a week and make my way out to New Zealand for a month of training with some World Cups at the end, and from there it just kind of got so busy that I think I've only been home 3.5 weeks since August.
So, like say, you're missing Sault Ste. Marie a little bit then.
Yeah, definitely. You start to miss what you spend your time doing. Ice fishing and sledding and having some fun. It's you miss it, but out here it's you're having so much fun. It doesn't matter anyway. It's amazing getting to travel around and see all the stuff that lots of people probably wouldn't see.
Exactly, and being 16 years old and being able to compete at the Paralympics in Russia is an experience in itself. For sure. Now, now, looking, like you say, again, watching on TV or on the news, or now I say social media with Facebook and Twitter, all we see in Sault Ste. Marie right now is you with a medal around your neck, and everybody's so proud. How does that feel?
Honestly, to be 16 and even be at the Paralympics was a huge thing for me, and to come downhill on Super G Day and to see that we were sitting in the bronze medal position both times. It was probably, a lot of athletes talk about being on the podium and seeing stuff and then standing in front of the huge crowd, and when you're standing up there and you really watch your flag rise while the national anthem plays of the country, it's insane. And to have so much support from home and all over the Sioux, it's something that you really take, especially when you have a down day or a bad day. You really go back and look at it, and you see how many people are behind you and supporting you, and it kind of brings up the mood a little bit and gives you that little bit of confidence that even if you don't medal or don't have a good day, there's still people behind you and people cheering at home. Exactly,
and that, like you say Sault Ste. Marie, where I have family in Hamilton and family in Calgary, and they're talking about you too. So it's not just Sault Ste. Marie; it's right across the nation that's really following you, and like you say, they're quite proud. Now you say you have Robin there also?
Yeah, I got Robin right beside me.
Well, like you say, is he listening, or do we talk separately, or?
We talk separately. I'll hand him the phone right now.
Okay, and then I'll talk to you just before we hang up.
Yep, perfect. 1 second.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
How are you, Robin?
Good, thanks.
Good. Question I have is, like, say, how did you become a guide for, like, say, for skiing compared to, like, say, competing for yourself?
So I've been a alpine ski racer for all my life in the able body part. And then when I ended my career, I went back to school, and there's one of the guys that coached me when I was able bodies called Sven Pouliot, who at the time was the head coach for the para-alpine ski team. So he just offered me, hey, want to give it a shot, want to try? And that was 4 years ago in 2010, and I'm like, I didn't know anything actually about para-skiing, and I gave it a shot and loved it. So that's how I started guiding.
It's give you an opportunity to get to the Olympics.
Well, totally. At first, we were only doing the World Cups, and it was great. Then we went to World Championships, which was just unreal. And then we just started thinking about the games, which were in 2014, and it's just unreal to live this, and not only by myself, but like with a partner. That just makes it even better.
Now, with BJ getting hurt, who are you supposed to ski with before BJ got hurt and skiing with Mac?
So for the past 3 years, I've been skiing with Chris Williamson, who've been on the tour for many years. I think it's his fourth game so far. So we skied together, and then he got injured, and now he's making his comeback. Tomorrow's his first race, and he actually took his old guide from 2010, and I stepped in to fill the spot for BJ.
Now, what do you do other than, like you say, being a guide, other than, like you say, just skiing?
I live in Quebec. I have an underwear company which is on the way. So we're trying to grow this company as much as we can, and it takes a lot of my time.
Understandable. Now, one question, and everybody has seen, like I say, across the nation, especially Sault Ste. Marie. What was going through your head when the headsets stopped working the other day in the race?
For me, it wasn't the biggest issue because with Chris, all the years we worked together, the radios we had, we used to have a lot of problems. So it was more to get back those feelings that we used to have and try to yell as loud and as I could and try to get the tightest we could to Mac so he could see me like as much as he could. So, but definitely it was a big bummer right before the race to figure that the radios died. We were like, okay, we got to solve this and find a solution ASAP.
Exactly, most when you're standing at the top of the hill, right?
It happened the run before we went down, and then at the start we tried some things to make it better, but didn't improve much, and then during the run everything died.
Understandable. Now, last question for you, how does it feel to have an Olympic medal around your neck?
It's a feeling that's just, you can't describe this. I've heard so many times some athletes saying how great it was to watch the flag on the podium, and when we were actually there in front of all those people and just watching our flag, even though it was in third place, it was just an unreal feeling. So it's incredible.
Understandable. Well, Robin, I can't thank you enough. And can we talk to Mac for one more second? And good luck in the last two events this week.
Of course. Thank you very much. Here's Mac.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Mac. Last two questions. What is next for you in, like I say, if BJ with his back, or what's next for you after Sochi?
Honestly, it picks right back up again. I come home from Sochi. I'm only home for 4 days and head out to BC for national championships. And right after nationals, I get to come home for a whole month and spend some time at home with friends and family and relax a little bit. And starting in May, I got to head back out to Whistler, and I'm training in Whistler right again until the end of July.
So, like you say, you'll probably take another year off school after this, probably?
I don't think I'll take another year off. I'll try and probably get back into it, even do some online schooling. I don't want to hold off school too much. You know, education's pretty important, and try not to wait too long before I go back, before I forget everything I've ever learned.
And yeah, well, you should have been in grade 11 this year?
Yeah, should have been grade 11 at Basel's.
at Basil's. Now, the last question is, if you'd like to give a shout out back here in Sault Ste. Marie to anybody, who would you like to say hi to and that?
I'd love to say hi to everybody. My grandparents, all my friends. Jared Coombs and Andrew Urkla and Daniel Bebo and pretty much everybody I hang out with. Miss everybody and be home soon. And with the guys at the Duke of Windsor, and I'd like to say hi to everybody, but
like I say, not enough time and not enough. Can't think of everybody at once, right?
Exactly.
Well, Mac, I can't thank you and Robin enough, and good luck in the next two events. And maybe when you're home for a month, we'll be able to actually have a chance to sit down and do this again. Tune in on Friday when we have Blind River Beaver head coach Don Gagnon on Saultsports Radio. Thank you, Mac.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.